I can actually, I think I can dance to that. And if ever you'd like
Oh,
to
it's a
see
good
me,
jam, dude. It's good
if you'd like to
for
see me
sure.
dance to that, I can. Always good to see Skyrise in the house. The sky is the limit. That's his motto. The sky's the limit. I don't know if
I,
he has like some 100-gallon GPM machine that he's like shooting all the way to the sky. It's a limit. I don't know. Eric
uh,
Grimm's always here. Justin's always with us. So good
what's
to
up,
see everyone
Charles? What's
tonight.
up, Matt? Yeah. Yeah, hey guys, if you're hopping on, go ahead and do us a favor. Smash that like button. Share this out to the other groups. Let's get these people on here and let's get to talking some pressure washing.
1,000 gallons.
1,000 gallons.
Jeremy, where do you
Yeah.
get your hats made?
So it's local. I found someone local. I ordered the hat. So I got this hat, which is a trucker style hat. And then I have this hat.
Nice.
And I've actually washed in this hat. And you can see there's very little spotting at all. So I really like this color. But it's a whatever, fixed flex. That's what it's called.
Flex.
So I ordered the hats from a place called I think it's called Epic Sports. These are Richardson hats,
Okay.
and I think the girl charged me $10 a patch to put them on, for the patch and to put them on. And I paid, I think, $8 for the hat. So like, I'm all in like at $15 when doing it that way. And I think if you order from someone who does them, there's usually like a minimum of like 20 hats, and they're like $20. So it was a little bit cheaper because I didn't want that many hats initially. Right. Now I kind of do.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
So good to see everyone tonight in the house. You like to see my hat? Let me show you my hat. I think I might go this look tonight. I look like a boxer.
We know that ain't the truth, though.
Come back. I've been here for years. All right. Well, it's good to see everyone tonight, I should say. It's always good to be here. And I hope you had a good day washing. I had 5 washes on the day, a little bit in the rain, and a good day altogether. Left the house at 7:30. Today I didn't get. Oh yeah, today I didn't get back till 5 o'clock. Right at 5 o'clock.
Wow!
So it was a long day today.
Yeah.
Fresh in the hood, legit, right there.
Yo yo yo.
Hey, we have a great topic. Have a great topic tonight. Yeah. You don't want to go anywhere. Tonight we're going to be talking about, what do we call it, Jeremy? Like, is it actually
daily routine? Yeah, how you like that AI logo thumbnail thing I put on there?
You did well.
It's nice. I just like, hey, give me a 3D logo for yada 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 daily routines and put some water drops in a black background, and that's what I come up with. I thought it was all right. Thanks, Mike.
No, no doubt. So everybody's been asking me where I'm getting my my thumbnails for my videos. In all honesty, I paint those by hand with a toothpick and a used cigarette butt. So I can whip some of them up for you if you'd like. Just let me know.
Hey, chisel them first. Chisel them out of wood, right? And then you do that.
Chisel it out of wood first with a pair of toenail clippers.
And an ice pick.
Yeah, we are going to have to. We're going to be talking about some daily rituals, routines, and I've got 4, kind of like a 4-part little sermon, what you call a little outline, if you will, that kind of put together for us tonight. But we've got a lot to talk about. And don't forget, we like to answer questions. We don't claim to be the gurus of all answers, but nonetheless, if you have questions and maybe you're going through something, maybe you've got a struggle in the industry maybe, heck, I don't know. Maybe you got a struggle in your marriage, whatever. And we'll talk about it. And we'll throw it up on the screen when we talk about it so that others can see what the question is. But feel free to ask questions.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're just a bunch of dudes doing dude stuff here.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Let's see here. Oh, who we got over here? What's going on? Walking in the house.
Often,
how's the weather for you?
When one of us is talking, the other one is usually looking through the comments to try not to miss anything.
Yeah, so sorry guys. We're doing what we can, you know. It's the worst podcast for a reason. We still got to get those shirts made. Maybe we need to get the AI shirt.
Oh, worst podcast
That'd be awesome.
ever. Well, we got a lot of guys in the house tonight. A lot of guys.
Yeah.
Of course, we always have here in just a few moments, we will have our little segment of the show called What Would Jeremy Do? WWJD. Jeremy is going to answer an impromptu question. And tonight's a doozy because it comes from one of our viewers, Jeremy. I didn't tell you this, but we had
let's go.
And it's a good one, and it has kind of brought about this epiphany, so to speak.
Yeah.
Of maybe a new way of getting some of these WWJDs. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment.
Okay.
Some of you find value in this podcast. And when you do, you talk about and ask about how you can make donations. Any donation that comes in to the podcast goes to our respective. We always just split it amongst the two channels, my channel, Fresh Rinse channel, and the Kentucky Wash Pros. And so, Jeremy, if you would throw up our Cash App and Venmo onto the screen there, if you'd like to make a donation, you can. And when you do, we pay for things like the StreamYard subscription, microphones, things of that nature. And it's all in hopes of making the worst podcast the best podcast sometime in the future. So thank you.
Yeah, trying to make the worst podcast better. We're doing what we can. And I want to say thank you guys that has donated in the past, and especially for you guys last week. Greatly appreciate everything. Hey, Michael, man, we appreciate that. And if you guys are wanting to know how to donate, you can see this across the screen on the bottom. That's one way you can do it. But if you're on YouTube and there's a button somewhere down below this chat, maybe it's to the side, it'll say Super Chat, and you can do a Super Chat just like our buddy Michael Lowe did right here. So we appreciate you, Mike. And what's your favorite catchphrase for advertising? Ooh.
Oh, I've got one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know you would.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk to me.
No, go ahead. What is it? I want to know.
Okay, yeah. So some of you have heard this story before. Many, many years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I was a DJ at a radio station in my hometown of Bristol, Virginia, Bristol, Tennessee. And I was the on-air personality in the evenings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys and gals, playing the hottest tracks on wax. Yes. And during the day, I would sell commercials. At night, I would be the on-air personality. In the day, I would sell commercials. And one of the things I would say is, without advertising your business, you have to advertise your business. And having a business without advertising is like picking your nose in the dark. You know you're doing it, but no one else knows you're doing it. So you have to advertise. I mean, we want everyone to know that, I sold a lot of commercials like that. And people are like, I never thought about that. If I don't advertise, then no one's going to know what I'm doing. And I sold a lot of commercials that way. I don't think that's exactly what he was asking, but what's your catchphrase? What's your catchphrase, guys, for sales?
I think they mean like, well, there was some right here. like Ben's. Ben's is the science of clean.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good, and it goes along with his brand name and everything.
Yeah.
Jonathan, going the extra mile for extra smiles. I like it, man.
I like that.
I like it. Yeah.
So mine is cheesy, but it works, and it's just very simply your friendly hometown professional.
I like it.
It's basic, but I think I don't know, it works.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just going to be like Mr. 5-star. I don't know.
I like it.
I don't have one.
I literally just got a 5-star Google review. Would you like to check it out online, live and in color here? Let's see here. I just got a 5-star Google review. It literally just now came in. I haven't even checked it out. How many does that make now? I will have to tell you. I'll have to look it up here.
Yeah, I think I'm on the low game on this one. I think about 107-ish, 110, somewhere in
there. As of 3 minutes ago, I got one, and I'm at 278 5-star Google reviews.
Nice.
And can I share this story with you? I'm going to read it here in just a moment. But I closed this job over the phone, gentleman in my town. I didn't realize that he was elderly. He didn't sound elderly, whatever that means. I get there today. Actually, he texts me. I text him on the way through my Marquette app, tell him I'm 10 minutes away or whatever the case may be. And then he responds and he asks, how would you like to be paid? Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle? Well, I didn't answer because I was driving. But once I got there, this God's honest truth, guys, he had to be close to 90 years old. He lived in the house since 1965. True story. He's been in that house since 1965. He's on a walker. He's on a walker. He opens the door. And he says, how would you like to be paid? Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle? I said, sir, however you want to pay me is perfectly fine. He gave me
Western Union.
Yeah, Western Union. He gave me a $40 tip.
Nice.
And he said, here, you're getting this hot off the press. I haven't even read this yet. 5-star Google review from Donald. And he said, Mike did a super job, very courteous, very friendly. Remember that, your friendly hometown professional. Mike's pressure washing is second to none. Makes me wonder how many he's had in the past. I would highly recommend him. Thanks, Mike. Now, I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to respond, and I'm going to say something like, thank you, Donald. It's always a pleasure pressure washing. And I'll even put in there pressure washing near me. And then I will say, always feel comfortable calling on Mike's pressure washing near me. Now I'll do it 2 or 3 times, pressure washing near me. And it works. I encourage you to do that. Put it in there, pressure washing near me. It's all good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should. I haven't done it in the past, but I've been doing that here lately on the ones I'm getting. Like, hey, thank you for letting me pressure wash your home in, Corbin, Kentucky, London, Kentucky, whatever. Throwing those keywords in, throwing those locations in, like our boy Gabriel was talking about there a few episodes back. So if you haven't catched that episode, you need to go. That was fire. That was legit. Looking forward to getting Gabriel back on. There he is. What's up, boy? Yeah. We're just talking about you right now. Nothing big. Nothing too big.
Had an 81-year-old lady that listened to her pressure. Mike said, yep, hello, Noah. Mike said I had an 81-year-old lady that was very familiar with the concept of soft washing. I was amazed. Yeah, that's good. That's cool. We get those every now and then.
Yeah.
Get those every now and then.
Absolutely. How do I get trying to figure out how to copy a link. I guess I can't copy a link.
Well, I'm going to have to go back and listen to Joe's or watch Joe's video.
You ain't seen it?
No, I hadn't seen it. Here's the thing. I talk to Joe every day, and every day he's like, "Do you see my video?" I'm like, "God, Joe, man, I'm not watching your video, but I will. I'll watch it."
Well, I'm gonna go look at the comments right now and see if Mike is the first one to comment.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll just put first, and that's all. I won't even watch the video. Jeremy, I got a question for you, buddy. WWJD, What would Jeremy do? We got one of our viewers sent me a video just yesterday, I think it was, and and he had a video, and he said this would make a great WWJD. So here we go, Jeremy. Right. You get a call. You get a call from a gentleman. You close the job over the phone. I know that's not your protocol, but here you go. You regardless, he asks if you give a veteran's discount, and Jeremy's response is,
I do. I give a veteran's discount if it is above my minimum.
Okay, very nice. That's worthy of
I do a veteran. That's the only. I still do. I do a veteran and a church discount is the same for me. I don't do teachers, first responders, none of that stuff. I'm sorry if you are one. I value you, but I'm a veteran, so I'm giving a veteran discount. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I mean, I'm like veterans in the churches. Sorry.
So, you do give the veterans the veterans discount. Yeah. You agree to the veterans discount. Yeah. And then you wash. Okay. Now this actually happened to our friend, one of our viewers. You wash, and then you're talking to the son. You're talking to the son of the homeowner, and you ask him, "Man, it must have been fun traveling because your dad was in the military." And the son says, "My dad was never in the military."
Discount's gone, man. Discount's gone.
Yeah. The son called out the dad, unbeknownst to the dad and unbeknownst to the son. And our friend, our listener, was standing there perplexed, and he didn't. What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
Okay, Jeremy, off the cuff, what do you do? Now, give it. If you need to think about it for a second, you can. But what do you do?
Well, I guess I think, God, dude, I don't know. That's a good one. So I guess I'm thinking, first I'm pissed probably. I'm hot, I'm livid. But if I can stay calm when some guy asks me what kind of man I am, I think I can probably stay calm over a 10% discount.
Yeah.
Is it worth the argument? Maybe it's a big discount. I don't know. I mean, depends. I think I'd say, sir, what branch did you serve in? I'm a veteran. What branch did you serve? That's exactly what I say. Hey, I'm a veteran. Where'd you serve? I feel like that's a normal that'd be a normal conversation for me. If someone said, "Oh, yeah, I'm a veteran," then I'd be asking them all kinds of questions. So
David Markland says, "Ooh,
yeah. So, in all realness, I guess I'm going to evaluate. Like your son mentioned that, I just asked, where, if he traveled. I guess there's a lot of questions. Was the son born? Was the dad in the military before? I don't know. I was in before some of my kids were born, so they wouldn't know. They'd not traveled, but So, gosh, man, there's a lot. I don't know.
I have a feeling that the father lied. Nonetheless,
if it's a bold-faced lie,
yeah.
I don't even know. I might not even wash the house. I might just stop and leave. I don't know.
It was over with. The house had been washed.
Oh, it was washed.
Yeah, he already washed it. And the sun comes
maybe
out.
You're just better. Maybe you're just better collecting your money and holding your tongue because, man, the tongue is a dangerous thing, and it can build someone up and it can cut someone down, man. We can praise our Lord with it, and we can cuss our brothers. So
right.
I think sometimes it's just better to hold it and then let it all get sorted out in the wash. It'll come out in the wash.
Well, I can tell you, our friend, our listener, our viewer, he held his tongue.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate this level of integrity. He said, I did not want to call out the father in front of the son because sons should always look up to their dads. And he said, I didn't want that impression because that's not something you ever forget. He said, so I didn't want to call him out. He said, I got paid and I put him on the blacklist. I'll never work for him again.
That's fair. That's fair.
I do think that's fair. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair. So let me ask you this, guys. Would you be interested in asking Jeremy questions? And here's what I want to ask you to do. I want you to, if you haven't already, become a member of the WashTube Facebook page, WashTube University. I want you to join WashTube University on Facebook and then upload a video. Now, Jeremy's going to see this, and that's okay. But he won't know which one we're going to be asking. But you can go on, upload a story, what have you, and that will be, we'll pick one of those each week. And that will be our WWJD for each podcast. So I would encourage you to do that. I'll try to remember to remind you of that at the end of the podcast.
I keep seeing a bunch of people giving different discounts to different people. Police, fire, EMT, healthcare, veterans, retired, active duty. I don't know. Maybe I need to reevaluate my policy. I don't know. Do you mind?
I don't publicize any kind of discount. I don't publicize anything, but if someone asks, it has always been, do you give a military discount? And when they do, I always say yes. And it's usually the top $25. I don't take off a percentage because, my gosh, that could be large, depending on what it is. But I throw out there a $25 discount.
Okay. Fair.
It works for me.
Yeah, I did have a lady ask me the other day for a senior citizens discount on what I felt like I was giving them my best price already because I knew they were older. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. I said, it's kind of the best price we can do. And they said, okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So one of our viewers tonight says he can't join because it says private. I'm gonna real quickly, Jeremy, if you want to take over, I'm going to jump on here and see if I can't figure this out.
Yeah, so it is a private group. I don't think it's not a. You have to join. You have to go through and answer the questions because it's private. It isn't public. Anybody can join. Anybody can join, but it's a private group. You can't come in the group and see all the material, which it's just, videos and stuff, but you have to actually be a member of it before you can join. So that should be just fine. Just go through and answer, I don't know, Mike, 3 or 4 questions or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Jonathan, I like what you said. Charge these state troopers because they won too many tickets. Yeah. I feel that, brother. I feel that one. I'm just kidding. Tony, Tony, you said you were excited. This is one of your favorite topics, daily routines. We have standard pricing for military first responding teachers. Maybe I need to reevaluate that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably the problem, Mike. Vulcan says he's trying to join under his business profile. That he'll have to do it on his personal profile. I think it's set up like that. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think you can join it as a business. It has to be a personal profile.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So, man,
let's talk about our daily routines. Talk about some daily routines, Jeremy. So,
first off, I like to wake up just whenever I wake up. I
do
just
like that.
roll out of bed. brush my teeth, put my boots on, get in the truck and go. Pretty much.
That's great. Great.
How many of you guys do it like that? How many of you guys do it like that on a serious side? No, so daily routines, man. That's probably something that I could improve on. I don't really have necessarily a set routine checklist, right? It's I have things that I do. Usually the night before, I like to make sure my bleach is filled up the night before if I can. Depends on how tired I am and when I get in, because sometimes I stay up late. I'm a late night kind of guy, but the night before is big for me. Planning out where I'm going the next day and having a route established for me. Getting the bleach figured out at night, getting the route figured out at night, and just I like to lay my clothes out, lay my boots out, lay my extra clothes out in case I get wet. So, yeah, you can elaborate on that, Mike. This was you had some more ideas for the daily routines. I think that was bouncing around inside your head a little more than mine.
That's okay. Yeah. So we've got 4 bullet points. And
Yeah.
Jeremy, you really hit the nail on the head on the first one. And I just said this bullet point number 1 in terms of daily routines. My daily routine begins the night before or the day before.
Yeah.
So if it all works out, if the stars are aligning and everything, the timing is right, if I need gas in either my truck or my machine, my fuel cell, I do that the day before. On the way home from my last job, I will stop and fuel up. And I do that because I really want to be focused the next morning, and anything can drive away my focus. Most of you know that. But I just really want to be ready. I don't want to have to second guess anything. And the thing is, for me, anything can happen and cause me to be late for whatever reason. I show up I'm a lot like Joe Deary in this fashion. Joe Deary and I both, 8 o'clock, we're at our first opportunity. So I'm staring at the customer's house before 8 o'clock in the morning. That's the way that I do it. So anything can happen. And so if I can possibly alleviate any kind of potential problem, and I do so. So I gas up the night before. When I get home, it happened today, and it will probably happen tomorrow. Almost every day, Jeremy, when I get home in the evening and after whatever time I get home, I don't have a home office. I sit in my truck and I make phone calls. I plan my route for the next day. I order product or supplies. I do all of those things. It is not uncommon for me to sit in my driveway for an hour before I get out to go in to greet my wife. But everything that's necessary for the next day is done. I sit in my truck and I make sure. I literally will call up Russ Johnson and say, I need these parts. And I do that because once I get into the house, I really don't want to be dealing with anything if I can keep from it. And so my daily routine actually begins the day before or the night before.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I like what you said about you're at the job site before 8 o'clock, which this has me tickled. My buddy Jacob, he said I've watched 2 houses by 8 o'clock.
That's right.
Which is true a lot of the times in the summer. And so my daily routine kind of varies based off of the season. And what I say by that is,
that's true.
Right now is school season for the kids, right? So a lot of the times I will take and drop them off, or I'll ride with my wife just in the morning. And, they have to be dropped off by like 7:50. We're back home 8:15. So now I kind of like to be somewhere like by 9 o'clock. So really, but in the summertime, there's no dropping nobody off. I might be at someone's house like 15 after 7, 7:30. So
if the neighborhoods around me would allow that kind of a thing, you know
Yeah.
what? And the thing is, Jeremy, I see guys mowing at 7:30 in the morning. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think one of the things, and this is kind of veering off the subject a little bit, but we're still on the same side of the coin. We're tapping into people's water source, and
Yeah.
if people are taking morning showers while we're trying to wash their house,
Yeah.
we might potentially be, causing a bit of a problem right there. We don't want to do that. So 8 o'clock for me is a good starting time, and I feel like most people are already gone, already at work, if that's on their agenda. And so I start at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, I say you're different. You're more populated up there.
Oh yeah,
So not popular, populated.
yeah, that's a fact.
So yeah. So I can be out in the country and there's nobody around these people. You know what I'm saying? So like we don't have noise ordinance where I live at unless you're like in the city, which I rarely wash in the city because there's that's just not where my ideal person lives at.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? What was there's someone had a question. What was this question?
The gas roof pump?
Yeah, I'll try to answer that. Gas roof pump question. I've not purchased one yet, but I'm looking at the Sweet 16 pump from Southeast. I hear horror stories on gas. Is gas worth it for large roof jobs? I'm going to say gas is absolutely worth it for large roof jobs. I think it depends on what your definition of large is. I'm a fan of gas roof pumps. I love mine. There's a learning curve on how to use it and how not to go through your bleach so quick, right, Jacob? But I had to struggle with that too. But I'm a gas roof pump guy. I think it depends on what you're going to use it for. Large roof jobs, I'd absolutely have one. I know that Sean uses one on his large roof jobs. Ben uses one for everything. So I think if you're going more commercial, like big commercial, then absolutely. It is. Yeah, you do. You move faster. You move with the end in mind. Okay, you got to move.
Nice. You mentioned a minute ago that you transfer your chemical, your bleach the night before. That's something that I do as well. Yes. I know what I need. I'm looking at my calendar, literally sitting in the truck, planning my route, and I know how much bleach that I need. Now I always top it off at the 90 mark regardless. Well, if I've got 80 gallons, I don't. But if I've got less than 50 gallons, I'm topping it off at the 90 gallons. But I do that the night before. I don't want to smell like bleach getting into the truck. Truck already smells like bleach enough. So I do that the night before. If I have batteries to charge, I'm doing that the night before. Lots of times, if I'm planning to take my own water, which I usually do, I usually fill up my 330 tank. Then I do that the night before. Jeremy, what I want to do when I get up in the morning is I want to have my coffee and my quiet time, read a little scripture, prayer time, and then I want to look at my calendar one more time before I leave. But I just want to leave and I want to go straight to the job if at all possible. I want to be focused on what my day looks like. So our first bullet point is that it begins the night before, because I know some guys who might even be on here tonight who run behind regularly, always late. And you've got this anxiety built up in you because you wake up and you're thinking, man, I've got to transfer a chemical and I overslept. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Honey, I can't talk to you. You just got to go because I've got things I got to do. You haven't washed your clothes yet. Jeremy said he sets his clothes out. I think that's awesome. I do that often myself for my wife.
So here's how I get, and I don't know if it's just the maybe some military to me. Everything's got to be folded, right? And this is just what I do when I work at the hospital, dude. So if I'm working 3 days, 4 days in a row, there's 4 stacks of scrubs with a scrub, a t-shirt, a sock, and underwear. And then there's another one right on top, top. So I don't think about it. I just get up, I grab it. There it is.
Right. That's exactly right. You got other things to think about.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
So yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you're one of those guys that let us know in the comments, do you prepare the day before, the night before, or do you just get up in the morning and wing it? Drop us a comment in the comment section and let us know. We want to hear what you guys are saying.
Jacob Way's on a roll tonight.
He also threw together a 12-volt system in about 30 minutes and sent me a video the other day just randomly. Because he's not a gas roof pump guy. Well, maybe he is. He has one, but it's a learning curve.
There's a learning curve to it.
Learning curve.
All right. So the first bullet point is that we hold on, let me find it. Our daily routine begins the night before. So the second one is very simply early rise and shine. Now, I'm an early riser. I was up before 5 o'clock this morning. That's not daily. I don't always do that, but I was up early. I was working on some Fresh Rinse Media stuff for some guys that I had promised. But listen, I know some of you guys, you wake up, you throw in your clothes, you grab what cold coffee you can, and you're out the door. And I can't operate like that. If you can, and that's the way you operate, and it's good for you, that's awesome. But man, I gotta have my mic time for about an hour every morning. Like nobody's even up. I got my mic time going on.
Yeah, that's nice. I think even though I said I like to stay up late, I do like to stay up late, but I'll still get up at like 5 o'clock. Yeah. Like I just need about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. That's me.
Yeah, and people are built different. You know, and generations are built different. It will even say, and a lot of guys are just like they wake up and they're gone, and they can focus like that. At the older I get, Jeremy, the more prep time I need right up here to get my noodle right. And you know, reading some scriptures and praying and just kind of getting focused. Look here, Michael Lowe says, up at 5, start at 8:30. Wow, dude, jeepers creepers! How much prep time does a guy need? Come on.
Oh, this guy.
Look at this.
Oh, this guy.
Sure you did.
I heard you just watched a 24-hour marathon, Joe. You just watched all the way around the whole day. Didn't even stop.
Joe's a goober. Here's a guy who's got no competition whatsoever. Okay, I'm just telling you that right now.
But he doesn't go into Rhode Island. He does not go to Rhode Island. I know that.
I understand that's to be the truth. Yes. But yeah, early riser. So the last thing I do before I step out the door is look at my schedule one more time. Now I'll do that sometimes, and I'm guilty of lying in bed and checking my phone and I literally look at the houses long before I wash them, but I will look at the house the night before and kind of prepare myself. Okay, don't forget this one. You're gonna need the big ladder for this one. You know, if I don't already have it on the truck. Whatever. I just know that I got to plan some things. How about this one? Today I had an emergency driveway cleaning, and I knew that I was going to need some hydroxide beads, right?
Yeah.
So I made certain that I had that in my head ready. You got to when you get up tomorrow morning, you got to get the hydroxide beads because I just got the call last night. So
yeah,
you got to be thinking of those things.
Oh, absolutely. And I didn't used to keep a ton of chemical on my trailer, but now I just keep 5-gallon One Restore, 5-gallon Cleansol, and a 5-gallon bucket of hydroxide beads. So I just keep that at all times. I hate it because it takes up room, but you never know.
Yeah, you want to be prepared.
I ain't got
Which brings
36 box toolboxes like Joe does to store everything.
right.
I need to get some more.
Which brings us to our third point, and that is equipment testing before we leave. We're talking about our daily routines. Now, something I do every single day. It's rare that I don't do this. Whatever machines I'm going to be using that day, which is usually every day is my 8 machine, but sometimes a 12 volt. When I had the AR-45 on the rig, then I would do that, and my 10 machine. I will start them and run them for about a minute. Now, I do that before I leave. My neighbors probably don't like it because we're talking, at this point, it might be 7:15. I don't know, but it's before I leave. I run my machines for just a minute. And then I also, Jeremy, I push the soap button on my Flow Pro to make sure that I'm pushing soap or drawing soap rather.
Yep.
So I want to make sure when I get to the job site that anything can happen and things do happen, but it won't happen for a lack of effort, right?
Yeah.
So before I leave, I'll make sure all my equipment is running correctly.
Yeah. No, I struggle. I don't do that. I don't do that. That's my, I probably should implement that though. I don't start my machines up. I don't. I have, but I don't do it every day.
Yeah, I did it
so
this morning.
Maybe that's something that I need to implement. I need to implement that. It's a good idea.
I just feel like I don't know,
That makes
Jeremy.
sense.
I just feel like that I've got that opportunity. If I get to the job site and my battery's dead on my machine or just something, if my 12 volt isn't working, then that's my fault. I had that time and I didn't take it. So I can't blame anybody but myself. So again, anything can happen between the time you leave and the job site. But before I left, I can say my batteries were charged, my machines were working properly, I had all the chemicals that I needed. My Flow Pro was in perfect operating order. My downstream injector was working, and usually 99.9% of the time, I'm good to wash.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine as some of these other guys who've probably got, employees and rigs and stuff of that nature, there's a checklist. You gotta have the guys run through the checklist, or you're down, you're losing money, even though it's the same thing for us. So maybe that's a good thing. I need to implement something like that. I like that. I like that idea real well. But in my mindset, I get maybe I will say I think like, okay, well, if I get here and the 8's not working, I got the 10. If I got a surface clean, I could downstream with the 10. But I also got the P40, so I can wash anything with the P40. Then it's like I got a 12 volt if the P40 is messed up.
Right.
Worst case scenario is I can apply the chemical if it needs to be stronger with the 12 volt, and then rinse it with with the 10.
Yeah.
I just think that I've got all these redundancies with equipment. I don't want to say it doesn't. I don't want to say it's paralyzing me, but it's probably not allowing me to fully think to the best.
Yeah. No, but there again, redundancy is key as well.
Yeah.
Sean Holderman says, sleep in your work clothes so you don't have to lay them out. I like this guy. I'm a fan of Sean Holderman.
Yeah.
He's first of all, he's extremely good looking. If you check out his profile and he's standing near that helicopter, I mean, I'm not really into that, but I would be. I could be.
It's just a shame that he's an Ohio boy. I wish he was a Kentucky guy.
Yep. We keep him to ourselves. We keep John to ourselves. All right. Anything else about equipment tests before we leave?
Have we touched on maintenance, or is that falling into that category there?
You know what? If I do have, that's great. We can go back a couple of points. Earlier I mentioned that I order parts, anything that needs to be in transfer chemical the night before. But yes, if I have either a mental note or a literal note in my phone about things that have gone wrong during the day, hoses that need to be replaced or repaired, O-rings that need to be repaired, if I've got a leak in my equipment, all of that is done the night before.
Yeah. I'm with you. I like maintenance before the night before as well. Oil changes and stuff of that nature. That's all done before we go out. I ain't waking up first thing, and unless I don't have anything to do first thing.
Right. Yeah, oil changes, whatnot, that takes place either Saturday or after church on Sunday. If there's a need. I'm trying to teach Michaela to do a lot of this stuff. I really want her to be able to transfer my chemical. I'm going to begin soon training her to, as soon as she gets home, start transferring chemical, things of that nature. Sure. While I'm in the truck calling prospective customers, setting up schedules, calling people back, things of that nature.
I like it.
Yep. All right, I've got one more. I've got one more that I don't think most would consider a daily routine, but it is for me. Let me find it there, Jeremy. And that is customer contact when en route. Now, that's not just a daily routine, but that's every single customer. I had 5 customers today, and every customer, with the push of a button, discovered that I was en route when I was en route. And that's something I do. I just make sure that my customers know, because I want them to remember to turn out their lights, if they're outside lights, move their cars out of the driveway. If we've discussed moving furniture, I want them to know they got 20 minutes to get this stuff done. Right.
So, okay, are you sending the text via your phone, or are you sending that through the Mark 8 arrival notification?
Arrival notification, Mark 8.
So can you adjust that text in that?
I don't know if you can. I think mine may be the automated one, but it says something like, sure. Good news, Mike's en route. He'll be there in 30 minutes. You can adjust that. I do know that you can adjust how much time that you're giving them. Yeah. And speaking of which, along those lines, Jeremy, what I will do is, if I'm 30 minutes out, I will wait till the 25-minute mark, and then I'll tell them that I'm 30 minutes out, because anything can happen. I can get stopped at a train. There can be an accident somewhere, construction, something can hold me up. So I tell them that I'm going to be there in 30 minutes, when in all actuality, I'm going to be there between 20 and 25 minutes. And if nothing else, I showed up early. Right.
Absolutely.
This is all nerd stuff, man. Goober stuff.
I also like that you can say, hey, we're running late by 30 minutes or whatever,
Right.
I like that. I like that option too. Just when I remember to use it. Yep. But you know what gets me though on that is sometimes, like if it's at the end of the day and I've sent that message, and I may forget to complete out the job until a couple hours later. I'm like, that job didn't take 5 hours. Daggone it. The clock that it gives you. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget to to punch it, to stop it. Which I guess it's not a big deal. It's just me, but at the same time.
Right. Okay, so Pink Pencil 33 says, yes, you can adjust it in the Mark 8 app.
Bill said that too.
Yeah, Mr. said that. Yeah. Okay. Well, good. We might want to look at that. I might.
Yeah.
Can you add pictures? I might add a picture of my smiling face or my legs or something. Get them all excited about the fresh showing up.
They'll cancel.
All of a sudden.
What system do you? So, Sebastian, what we do is me and Mike, we both use Marquee. So, I'm sure if you use Jobber, House Call Pro, or whatever else you got, Quote IQ, I'm sure that on the screen it probably says like when you click on your schedule part or your work order or however it looks, ours is on a schedule. So you bring up the schedule and you click on the house you're going to, it gives like a work order, and at the bottom it says like arrival, start, stop, finish, or something like that. So all you do is you just follow the prompts and it will notify the customer. Depending on what CRM you're using, if you are using a CRM. If not, then you're just saving a text on your phone and copy and pasting it to every time you get ready to go to someone's house.
So Vulcan Pressure Washing asks, have we got any luck? Have we had any luck getting new businesses by texting previous customers from the year before on Marquee or similar? Or I do that every year. I know Joe Deary will do it several times throughout the year. I just do it the one time. And this year I picked up, I think I said 18, maybe more than that. I don't remember. I picked up a lot of good work to start out the year with my mass text.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I send out a couple a year myself. Okay. So yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Yes, absolutely good stuff. I'm sifting through comments here to see if there's anything we missed. Here's one. Marketing question. Have you guys had any experience with the golf course marketing or country club stuff? They call every once in a while offering a spot on the golf course banner or placemat. I have not ever used that. Now, I don't know how you really track your ROI with that, unless you've got like a phone number designated for that particular marketing avenue with that golf course that they call you, or a QR code specifically for that. I'm not saying that it's a terrible idea. I just kind of wonder, is it just going to be more for brand recognition than to actually get the customer to call you right then and there? Because I think of two different kinds of forms of marketing. With you do some marketing just for brand recognition, then you're doing actually some other marketing for getting the customer in, which I guess brand recognition does help that, but it's building the brand awareness. And, you know, people at the country club is kind of the people that you probably want to wash for, I think, because usually they've got expendable money, and it's not a bad clientele or customer avatar to have. So let me quit rambling.
It's okay, Jeremy. This question recently came up with our local wash groups. Our wash group. We have a local wash group here from Cincinnati to Dayton. It's called Cincinnati Dayton Washers, and there's nearly 100 of us
Mike's
on
territory.
Yeah, it is, and we have nearly 100 washers in this group. And that question came up: does anybody use the golf course advertisements? And it was an overwhelming no. And I was one of those who said, no, I don't use it. Now, I'm just telling you what people have said. You know what? Maybe that's all the reason to do it, because nobody else is doing it. But one of the questions that I ask myself when it comes to marketing is, do I use this kind of marketing to make my purchases? For instance, I'm a golfer. I used to be an avid golfer. I used to be a 2 and 3 times a week golfer. I've had hundreds and hundreds of scorecards in my hands. I've been on thousands of tee boxes. I've never once made a purchase because I saw a sign or an ad on the scorecard. But that's just me. I like what Jason Guyman says. Jason Guyman says you are not your customer, and he's probably right about that. So that's not the only question to ask, but I do ask that question: Does this even appeal to me? And it doesn't. So if that form of advertising doesn't appeal to me, then I usually don't go with it.
So on the contrary, I'll say on the contrary, you use yard signs, but have you ever bought anything from a yard sign?
I have.
I see. I have not.
Yeah, I have.
I don't. I just haven't. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. But I think there again, someone set it up here in a comment. It's solely, I think, solely for brand awareness. It's not for leads.
Yeah, probably not for leads. Probably not for leads.
Yeah.
We had a couple of questions there I thought were legit.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you this while we're speaking on this golf course thing. And this is probably my question to you guys who are watching, and Mike, you as well. I was contacted by a local magazine. Okay. Now, this magazine goes out to certain neighborhoods, certain income levels, certain houses above X amount in the price range, right? Kind of who I like to serve. So they reach out to me, and I the exact details, but it was a contract, and I don't like contracts. Okay, I'm not a contract guy. Anything that locks me in a contract, I'm not interested in it. So the deal is hey, we're targeting houses that's in my area. I think it was 400,000 or 500,000 and up, which in my area is a really nice house. So, and it might not be in your area, but anyways, you're getting them on these neighborhoods. They even sent me the neighborhood map showing these houses, and I was like, oh, I know exactly all these houses. I like watching houses here. But anyways, it was like at a minimum a 12-month obligation, and you got different ad sizes, right? But it was like the cheapest you could get was like $325 for a little section. I'm like, I'm not paying $325 on a 12-month contract just for a sliver of a section of a thing. And I had a lot of what you thought, a lot of what you said, Mike, about I get one of those magazines. Okay. And I'm like, I never look in this magazine for someone to call that's sponsoring it. So that was kind of my thought process when I was eliminating. Yeah, Jeremy. I didn't do the magazine. And what's funny is the guy say, oh, this plumber's in here with this magazine. Me and the plumber's buddies, I texted him. I said, hey, man, you advertising with this magazine? He's like, run. Okay. Enough said. I was running anyways because it's a contract. But yeah.
Now, interestingly enough, Jeremy, I was talking to Joe Deary, and Joe Deary just he dropped a good little coin on the local magazine.
Yeah.
There in Putnam. And he says he picks up work for it. He did a business card side. I think maybe business card or a little bit bigger than a business card. But by the way, for brand recognition, all he put in there was his business card. He didn't have a bunch of fancy. He put his, and of course, everybody in Putnam and that, all those areas, they know Joe's logo. He's a genius, by the way, for doing black and white and just, capturing people's attention. But nonetheless, and he says he always picks up work from that. So maybe that's geographical.
Could be.
Off-topic question. Do you write your mileage down between jobs or a total mileage driven for the day? Well, I don't. My truck is solely for work. So if you're speaking for tax purposes, I know what it is at the first of the year, and I know what it is at the end of the year, and I only use my truck for work. So,
yeah, same here on my truck.
Got some good questions coming in.
Absolutely, I love the questions.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Foster Ford had a question. Here's one. I think this is it.
Yeah.
Foster Ford, which is probably one of the coolest names I've ever heard in my life. He said, quick question. How do you deal with customers with poor communication? I know what he's talking about. That was probably the most polite way to say, how do you deal with other ethnicities and people with language barriers? Foster, if you're still on, is that what you were asking? I think that's a legitimate question.
Okay.
And you know how I do it? I give them my business card. I give them my 5x7 card. If we're talking on the phone, yeah, like just look, text right here. That way I can go in and I can copy and paste that into one of those translator apps. And I can see if I'm watching a roof or a driveway, a roof or a woof. But
I thought you guys called them roofs up there.
Roofs, yeah, that's right. It's roofs. Joe Deary taught me how to say it, roof. So I have to tell this story, Jeremy. I have to tell this story, and I'm almost biting my tongue to say it. But so yesterday, this would be a great WWJD. Here is a bonus WWJD for our friend Jeremy Messer. I roll up on a house 2 days ago.
Okay.
It was a standard house wash. Now I'm only going to tell you price. You know, I don't talk numbers, but I'm only going to tell you numbers in this case because it's pertinent to the situation. I priced this standard 2-story house like we always wash, neighborhood house, 4 sides, as easy as the day is long, $450. And it was just super easy. And while I'm washing, neighbor comes over, and he is of a culture that is known for talking people down on their prices, asking for discount. Okay. And he said, I won't try to impersonate him, but he said, how much to wash my house? Now he has an identical house, almost identical. And I told him, I said, I'm doing a neighborhood deal for $450. He said, the whole exterior for $450. I said, everything besides the roof. Now, these are new houses, by the way. None of these homes are more than 4 years old. They're all under 4 years old. And so easy washes. And I said, $450. And he said, I would do it if you'll give me a discount. And I said, well, I'm sorry, I can't do that because I've already charged her $450 and she's already paid me. So I can't do it. I'm sorry. That wouldn't be fair. And I said, but what I will do is, and this was how I kind of, distracted him for a second. I said, let me go to the truck. I'm going to get you my card and you can think about it. I anticipate I'll never hear from him. But I went and got my card when I came back to this gentleman and gave him my card. And I said, call or text me anytime. And he said to me, I work out deal for you. I work deal for you. You already here. $300. I give you $300 today, right now. You wash my house. Okay, so I did. That was my best impersonation. Sorry. What do you do, Jeremy? What does Jeremy do?
I'm not washing for $300. That's $450.
He wanted $150 discount. I'm thinking $25 is a discount, not $150.
Yeah. No, I just say I'm sorry. It's $450. We'll wash it for $450.
That's what I did. I did. Yeah. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot wash it for less than $450. And
so
he said, okay.
I quoted a house, simple house. It's one of those ones. It's brick with vinyl soffit and gutters and fascia, and it's brick all the way around. And it has. Did I say this last week? Did I tell this story already?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Anyways, like those ranch style houses that like the center of the roof is slightly raised above the sides of the roof,
sure.
Step, right? And it's got that rake board that has like 2 pieces of vinyl or 3. And I'm out here, and granted, it's like 2 minutes from my house, and they're like, "Hey, we want a price on this," and I'm like, okay. I walk it around, I look at it, it's like, okay, it's just come back, and I said, all right, sir, I'm just going to tell it. I said, your house falls into our standard house wash price of $325. $325. God, he said. I said, yeah. I said, that's just, that's our standard price for a house this size. He's like, yeah, I was thinking like $175. And I said, well, sir, I said, I can't do it for $175. I mean, he obviously saw my truck and trailer. I said, he said, yeah, you look like you have a lot of equipment. I was like, yeah, I do. I said, we can't do it for that. I'm sure you'll find somebody out there who can. And that was it. So it's just like, sometimes you just got to say no.
Yeah.
You just got to say no.
You just got to say no. The way I look at it, Jeremy, and you did not share that on the podcast, but you shared that with me personally. But the way I look at it, Jeremy, if you are man enough to ask me for the discount, like you can look me in the eye and say, can I have the discount? Why can't I be man enough and answer the question?
Yeah.
I should be able to answer it any way that I want to. And we're still friends. I'm still a potential employee of yours, and you're still a potential customer. We don't. I think sometimes we think that we have to be the better person and give the discount. But here's what you got to remember, guys. That night that you gave the $50 discount, they're at Applebee's with their wife and kids, and you paid them to let you for them to let you wash their house.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't give discounts, but I am saying think about that don't give the discount because we cower down. And I've come to the point that when someone asks for a discount, I begin to think, now, why do they want the discount? What is it that makes them feel like that they are special? And that's honestly, it wasn't a pride issue. The reason I didn't give this gentleman a discount was because he felt like his neighbor should pay this price, but he should only have to pay this price. And that's not fair to his neighbor.
No, it's not.
Now, Jeremy, had they asked in advance, had they come together in advance and say, hey, while you're here, would you give us a discount if you can wash both houses? And I would have said, absolutely yes.
So it's funny you say that, because I just had this happen actually today. This was an ongoing conversation, but the confirmation came through today. And I knew that two of the washes that I washed last year. So I expected to wash them this year because it's been my 3rd year in a row washing them. So I do a discount, a bundle. It's a mother-daughter, and the houses are pretty much side by side. So I do a discount while I'm doing both of those because I can do it while I'm there. They want it done when I'm there. So she texts me, or she texts me. She said, hey, my neighbor is asking about her house. Sends me a picture of it. She's like, how much for her house? She's a little bit older. I said, hey, if I can do it while I'm here, it's this much. If not, it's this much.
Fair.
So, I'm willing to stay parked in one location and save myself, save them a little bit of money and save me a little bit of time from running everywhere out in the country, if it makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't find myself doing that day, even though honestly, those houses were so easy, and I praise the Lord for those. They wanted their houses washed. Honestly, the gutters were dirty, but that's about it. I mean, these homes are only 3 to 4 years old, but that had nothing to do with it. The fact of the matter is, I gave the woman a price. I have to give the neighbor the same price. I just felt like I had to. Yeah.
Well, she's already your paying customer. She's already hired you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it already paid. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, I heard you say you take zucchini bread as payments. I heard you take cats as partial payments too.
He takes kitty cats. Kitty cats.
Yeah. Here's a good question. All about Fishing TV. Go to for marketing to get jobs. I got 2 go-tos. Okay. 2 go-tos is yard signs and Facebook ads. And we're going to talk more about Facebook ads next week because next week will be my 4-week follow-up. Gage will be on next week. We'll be talking some numbers, some real numbers, sharing those. So just to give you guys a follow-up, of how my experience has been and the results that I'm getting. So be sure to check back in next week for that video. You ain't going to want to miss that one.
Yeah, well, I will tell you that when we're talking about marketing, Joe Deary, I believe, would very quickly say that his yard signs are his marketing go-to. Yard signs are huge, and they're not always huge. And I'm guilty. I've only put out 2 yard signs this whole year. I gotta do better. But I mean, I'm staying busy, so I don't know. But anyways, I do need to do better with that.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
We know, Joe. We saw the video.
Yeah,
bless him, Lord.
Yeah.
Bless him, Lord.
You still got that kitten? That's probably a cat now. That's been a few months.
Joe sends me pictures of the cat sitting at his feet, and it's just, I feel weird looking at it. It's just like, dude, stop it with the pictures already.
Mike's got a foot fetish.
Joe's got a cat fetish, so it's all good. Here, kitty. Oh yeah, Devin, good for you, buddy. How do you track that? I don't know how you track that, unless maybe you got the whole neighborhood. That's one way of tracking it.
So I can attest that, Devin. I've done. I got from one guy who found me on a yard sign. His wife. It led to that, and it led to another big job for them, business owners. So absolutely, it was a little bit more than what you posted, but yeah, it was worth it. They're well worth it. Yeah. Yeah, Gage, we were just talking about next week.
Gage Lake will be our guest host next week. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Where are we at?
I have a feeling that it's going to be raining tomorrow in Putnam, Connecticut, and that's why Joe is still awake. Go ahead and answer me, Joe. Prove me wrong.
Joe's got 4 cats.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that.
I had 2. We had 2, and I got rid of them. I had 2. Well, I rehomed them to my mom. How about that? I didn't really get rid of them, I guess. They just went to live with another family member. Yes. Absolutely.
Guys, we're rounding the, let's see, what time is it?
It's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys have any more questions before we hop off here?
Hey, let's read this one real quick.
Yeah.
Gabriel says, I run offers on Google, and when getting information for a quote, I ask how they find me. Also, I give discounts for referrals to customers. I think that's a good idea. Refer a neighbor, save $50 each. See, that's that call to action, right? That's that call to action there. He says, I also charge premium so I can afford to run those promos.
Absolutely. I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. Man, it's supposed to be thunderstorming down here. I don't know if I'm going to do anything.
Joe, I've got a big roof wash tomorrow. And it's sky high, and it's down in the city, and I don't want to do it. So that I'm to understand that it's supposed to be raining and very windy. So I've already texted the customer and said, it may not happen. I'll keep you posted. In fact, I'm going to look at my phone now.
I'm telling you, from March to April, I give a tentative schedule, weather pending.
Yep, that's right. Weather pending.
We can do this Friday, pending the weather.
Gage has a great question. How's it going with teaching Squirt? She's really catching on, Gage. She's really catching on. She, interestingly, I think that we all have little quirks about our own wash styles, but I see things that are probably genuine to me, unique to me. Like just the way that I aim the gun, hold the gun like a gangster, like sometimes I'll do a gangster like that. And you guys, this is hilarious. I will watch Michaela and she will wash just like me. Like she's doing the same thing. And I don't say anything. But I'm like, that's kind of my style. But to answer your question, she's paying attention. And one of the things I tell her is, if you're not washing, but you're only watching me, that I'm paying you for that. So watch me, because I'm not going to lead you the wrong way. So she does. She stays right on my heels, and she watches me wash if she's not washing herself. So she's doing good. I'm super proud. She got her new shirts in. I should get one, but it's right here. It says Squirt. Instead of saying Mike, it says Squirt. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
She also got a new car tonight, so she's so excited about her new car.
Nice. Absolutely. Gabriel said he did the hand motion.
He did what? Hand motion. Oh, yeah, exactly.
My brain got on the green screen behind me, by the way, when I laid back. I was dying.
Oh, God.
Hey, Mike, I wash it from left to right and right to left. Sometimes I don't even start. I start right in the middle sometimes, son. It don't matter.
Did you know Joe Deary sometimes washes from the top down? Ooh.
I heard about that guy, top down.
He's a freak, man. He's a freak.
Who does that? Who does it?
He's a weirdo.
Oh.
Malik says, I'm blessed to have 800 annual clients. That's wonderful, brother.
That's amazing, dude.
Good for you. Good for you. I don't even know 800 people.
Yeah. I know like 8 people.
Yeah, sometimes I used to give the old Trenton lean like that.
Hey, Mike, I'm going to need you to show up with a bandana next week like Gangster Mike.
I just do like this.
Oh.
Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're kind of nearing the end of the podcast, and it's actually Jeremy's time to pray, his week to pray.
Is it my week?
Here's a question. Let me pop one up here real quick. Hold on. Let me get back up. Michael Lowe says, Mike, did you offer her the Fiero? The Fiero is already hers. The Fiero is going to be her her hobby car, and she got a 2015 Honda Civic SI, and I drove it the other night, and the thing will absolutely spin the tires. It's crazy. 6-speed. She can drive a 6-speed. She has no problems. But Mike, to answer your question, the Fiero is already hers. She's an ace mechanic. She does all the brake jobs in our family, hubs. She can change axles. One time, I don't know, 2 years ago, she was 16 or 17. And I came home from work, and she had the whole front end off of her car, the radiator removed, and she was working on her car. I walked past the car. I looked at her. She's underneath the car looking at me, and I just kept on going. A couple hours later, she had it all put back together, and she was driving it. So she's an ace mechanic.
Nice.
That's a true story.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Ace.
Whoa.
I'll be right back.
Sean, thank you, brother. I really appreciate your concern on that. I'll take over for the next few minutes while Jeremy, bless his heart, is ascertained for a moment. Sean Holderman, my buddy here in Ohio, he says, I thought about the effects of all the chemicals that we use. He asks, does that concern you? Sean, you've seen me. You know I'm about 5'6", 5'7". I used to be 6'3" when I first started this in the industry, and I don't know. It seems to have had an effect. No, I don't. And here, let me say this, Sean. Sean, you've been in the industry as long, if not longer, than myself. It's not a huge conversation. Like Facebook, YouTube, all the conversations, there's very little conversation. You know, if you worked in the mines, you talked about black lung every single day. Like that's what the conversation was about. If you worked in the mines, who has black lung? We don't really talk about that in the industry much. So I kind of just go with that's probably not that big of a deal. Though I would encourage proper protection. But I don't wear gloves. I don't wear a mask. Probably should, but I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He says he's been doing it for 17 years. I knew he'd been doing it longer than me.
All right. Well, I guess on that note, is there anything else we got? Clear hearts.
Sebastian, you can go to either of our channels. My channel is the Fresh Rents channel, and Jeremy's is Kentucky Wash Pros. Or you can go to the WashTube University Facebook page, and you can watch there as well. And
or
other channels.
Wash Pros page.
That's right.
I'm not sure where you're watching it right now. Yep. Working this. Okay. All right. Mike says it's prayer time. He's got to go. Me too. I got to figure out what's going on. All righty. Are we ready? Let's go to the Lord in prayer. All right. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to gather tonight, Lord, and we just give you praise and thanks for your many blessings that you bestowed upon us, Lord. As we go out on our days tomorrow, Lord, to provide for our families, please watch over us, lead us, guide us, and direct us, Lord, on your path. We just pray for safety, a hedge of protection, and just guidance and knowledge, Lord, as we walk through this journey that we call life. Lord, we thank you for your son, Jesus, and the love that he has for us and the gift that he has given us, Lord. And I just thank you so much for that. Father, be with us on our journey until we meet again next week. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Thank you, guys.
All right. Peace.
Peace.